Hi, guys. Dr. Harrison here. Typically, every year I do a Teacher of the Year nominee meeting in the lecture hall because obviously this year looks different. I've decided to go ahead and give you the screencastify. That way, you can view this presentation on your own time and in your own way and in your own place. Um, just real quick, first of all, I want to congratulate you. Being nominated as Teacher of the Year is huge. Think about all the things that you're doing for kids. Your sacrifices, they're making a difference. I just want you to know that. You're teaching students to be critical thinkers. You're teaching students valuable career skills. You're teaching them to be lifelong learners. And maybe most importantly, and sometimes we overlook this, you're giving them hope and optimism, which is what we need in the world today. So once again, congratulations. Someone thought enough of you to go ahead and nominate you for St. George's Teacher of the Year. So you're representative of the best that we have at a very talented school full of passionate and talented educators. So really quickly, I'm guessing this presentation may take maybe 5 to 8 minutes. Honestly, I didn't rehearse a lot of time with this just because I think it's more important to get the information into your hands quickly because the timeline that we're working with is a rather short. It's a quick timeline from the time the nomination window closed until we need to let the district know our Teacher of the Year. So on the next several minutes, I'm going to go over the Teacher of the Year process, the timeline, and all the information that I'm going to give you is going to come from the Teacher of the Year packet, which was also sent to you at the same time that this video was sent to you. So real quickly to go over some of this information, just to touch on the criteria. Obviously, you have to be a skilled and dedicated teacher. Also, just to make sure you meet these criteria, I believe that I've done a good job screening those who are still eligible based on the criteria. But if you still have questions about are you really eligible to continue with the process, feel free to see me. I'll be happy to answer the question for you or look into it more deeply. First of all, you've had to been teaching for an accumulative period of 3 years or more in a Delaware public school. Someone had to nominate you, which everyone was nominated. You had to be teaching at the time of your nominations. Also, we let LSCs who teach more than 50% of the time, they're now eligible this year, which is something different than years past. You have to have satisfactory summative performance on DPAS 2 evaluations for the last 3 years. And you have to continue to teach for the duration of the school year for your nomination. Also up here, just real quickly, it says that nominees must meet all requirements for standard certificate for the position held and hold a valid and current license as approved by the Professional Standards Board, Department of Education, and State Board of Education. Because the mentor programming went up to 4 years, there are some questions about that. So if you've been teaching on Delaware for an accumulative period of 3 years, but you're still in that 4th year of the mentoring program, you are still eligible to compete for St. George's Teacher of the Year. So those are the criteria. And again, all this information is in the packet that has been sent to you with this screencast. Again, just to go over the process, the nomination window was open for a week. We put it on the website. We put it on Facebook. We put it out there everywhere to get nominations. And so you were nominated. And basically, this year's process is streamlined. Typically, in normal years, we go ahead and we have interviews. The teachers are responsible for doing information packet. And of course, we have the observations. There are no observations this year. So the process to identify who the Teacher of the Year for St. George's for 2022 is going to go off of the information packet that you submit as well as the interview, just those two components. So real quick to touch on the interview to get that out of the way first because it is that simple. We're going to schedule you for an interview. We're going to give you a period of time to answer just 5 questions. And we're giving the questions to you in advance. And they're right there on the screen. And again, they're also included in the interview packet. Describe a lesson that defines you as a teacher. How did you engage all students in the learning? And how did that learning influence your students? Second question is describe a school project or initiative in which you have been involved. What was your role? And how did this contribute to the overall school culture? Third question, how do you connect your students to the world around them? Describe the ways in which you do this. Question 4, what do you consider a major public education issue today? Describe why this is important to you and how you are addressing this in your classroom. And number 5, as the 2022 National Teacher of the Year, how would you serve as a spokesperson and representative for teachers and students? what is your message, and what would you communicate to your profession and to the public? So basically, we're going to ask you those 5 questions during the interview in that order. And then based on that, there's a rubric down here, which will go ahead and give us the how we're going to score your interview. Let's see if I can bring it up. Interview scoring rubric. So again, the criteria right here, basically just looking for thoughtful responses, free of errors, mispronunciations, etc., on all 5 of those things. So there's the rubric. It's included in your packet. Feel free to take a closer look at it. The other piece that we're evaluating our Teachers of the Year on this year is their information packet. Again, the information for that is in the information that I provided with the screencast. It's very simple. Bring it back up here. So there's 2 parts. You simply have to fill out the application form. The name of the nominee, your address, your date of birth, home phone, your school address, and your areas of certification. And then list the grade levels that you teach and your years of teaching experience. Just make sure that that's grammar free. Sometimes we get great applicants, but yet when it comes time to evaluate them, they may have misspelled a couple things on that sheet right there. So make sure your grammar's tight when you submit that sheet. Second point to this is your resume. And it says on your resume, include the following categories. It's best if you go ahead and literally list those categories on your resume. Sometimes Teacher of the Year candidates, they just give the resume that they have existing, and committee members are supposed to go through and kind of fish out what they're asking for. So I would go ahead and whatever Teacher of the Year resume that you make up, just make sure it's broken down into these categories: education, experience, membership, certifications, leadership, awards, and other recognition. So you want to go ahead and give us the information and follow this criteria that's right here on the bullets. So again, that's 10 points of the application information packet. And then the next point is your professional biography. It's worth 10 points. You want to write this in third person. So you're literally going to type in your name while you're writing it. It can only be 250 words long. I mean, that's like 8 tweets maybe. I mean, it's not that long. So there's not a lot of writing involved. So it's a very streamlined process. So please give us your professional biography in third person that they'll eventually use for promotional materials. But you'll see there's a sample right there from Sandy Smith that you can take a look at. But it's that simple. So again, the first part is to fill out the application form that's up here. Is just make sure that your formatting is right. And then the second part, your resume, literally break down, chunk your resume for information and fit them into those categories, and make sure you're following the criteria here below for maximum points. And your professional biography, again, make sure it's in third person and that it's a max of 250 words. Okay, so for the information package, a total of 25 points, 5 points for application formatting, which is the first page, 10 points for your resume, and 10 points for your professional biography. And then again, 25 points for your interview. And that's how we determine the St. George's Teacher of the Year that will represent us in 2022. So we've talked a little bit about it. Let me just go over some of the information. So again, timeline and next steps. If you're going to continue and compete for St. George's Teacher of the Year 2022, you need to sign up with Emily St. Amand. She's my new secretary. She's down here in the main office. Sign up by Wednesday, March 17th. Yes, it's 5 days away. Feel free to see her in person or send her an email by the 17th. We're not going to give out hard copies of the Teacher of the Year package, so if you would like one, please request it from her. And on the screencastify that I showed you, some of the lines and the formatting was a little bit off. That's because I went ahead and put it in as a Google doc that would link into this presentation. But I'm going to include that as a packet, as a separate attachment, that the formatting will be correct for you to more easily read. So first step is, if you're continuing, please sign up with Emily St. Amand by Wednesday, March 17th. You can email or see her in person. If you don't see her, if you don't sign up, then we don't know you're continuing with the process. So make sure you sign up. If you don't sign up, we're assuming you're not going ahead with the process. The completed information packets. Again, it's that one-page application sheet that asks for your name, date of birth, address, um, and then your professional resume and your professional biography. That's due by Tuesday, March 23rd by 3 p.m. again to Emily St. Amand. And then the interviews are held on Thursday, March 25th. And either on the 25th or the 26th, we'll notify the district and let them know who our Teacher of the Year um, is for 2022. And then you'll get more information. That person will get more information on the criteria for competing for the district Teacher of the Year, who will represent us at the state. So again, 3 deadlines. Please be aware of Wednesday, March 17th. Sign up with Emily if you're going to continue. If you don't sign up with her, we're assuming you're not continuing. Make sure that you get your completed information packets to Emily by Tuesday, March 23rd by 3 p.m. And interviews are held on Thursday, March 25th. So, real quick, a couple of things, Q's and A's that I get all the time. People want to see who nominated them and what they said. Feel free to see Emily. She can let you know who your nominators are if you would like to thank them. And of course, if you want to sit down and talk about this presentation in more detail, if you need more information, please see me. We can schedule a meeting or we can talk informally, but I want to make sure that you feel like you've been supported and you understand what is involved in the process, that you understand the timeline. And if you have any concerns or worries or additional questions, feel free to see me and we can talk. But that's it. Again, I know this wasn't the best presentation, but please see me if you have additional questions. I do appreciate you taking the time to view it. Good luck. And again, if you need me, you know where to find me. We'll see you. Bye-bye.